So I found this game called The Short Hike, and it's about a crow, at least for me it's a crow, that wants to climb all the way to the top of a mountain, and that seems pretty simple, but at the top a special things are waiting for us. So let's get to it. I never get tired of this view. Claire, you're gonna have a great time here this summer. I think it'll be good to get away from the city and take a break from everything else going on. Are you still awake? Maybe. Hold on a little longer. We're almost at the ferry. So apparently I'm a crow named Claire, and I'm on vacations with my auntie May. As soon as I decide to look around, auntie talks to me, so we discover that I'm currently waiting for a call, but auntie tells that the place have no reception and the only place with some reception is at Hawk Peak, so we have to climb all the way to the top. Following the trail to the mountain, I find a little crow asking me to get 50 shells that are spread across the beach. While picking the shells that we find to the way, just a little bit further, there's this little frog trying to build a sandcastle with a shovel, so we tell him that a big shovel won't help and that he should use a little shovel. But guess what? We are gonna have to find a little shovel. By exploring a little bit more, a strange animal, I really don't know what kind of animal is that, gives me a compass to help me not get lost. And I also find two other animals, one practicing rock climbing and the other one seems to be a teacher. He then asks me if I want to learn how to rock climb. I say yes, and he tells me that I'm gonna need a golden feather to be able to climb, and that I could get one at the visitor center. On the way to the visitor center, I actually found a little shovel for the frog. Near the visitor center, there was a golden feather in a hill, and I spent some time trying to get it. But at some point, I just gave up and went back to the frog to give him the toy shovel. As a reward, he gave me the actual shovel. Now with the shovel, I can dig this hole that looks like another thing to me, but I'll just let that to your imagination. So again, I went back to the visitor center, and I would not proceed this game if I didn't get that golden feather in the hill. So my strategy was, I went a little bit higher, and by gliding, which I forgot to tell that this is a bird and she can glide. By gliding, I finally take the first golden feather. Now, what the hell did I actually do? So I went back to the climbing teacher and he explained it to me. The golden feather is a stamina bar that allows me to climb or flap my wings according to the number of feathers I own. So finally I decided to go to the visitor center. There I find a goat. When I talked to him, he offered me a golden feather for 40 coins. But another choice got my attention actually. What kind of merch do you sell? And when I realized I paid 100 coins for a hat. Well, style before skill. I then start to follow the trail to Hawk Peak again. On the way, I speak to a little bunny that was trying to train for some kind of marathon championship that the place was gonna have. She tells me that she lost her headband in the forest and cannot train harder for the marathon without it. I then, as a good guy, start looking for the headband and I actually find another golden feather. Also, I come across with a turtle that apparently is the champion of the marathon, and it's very interesting because talking about a bunny and a turtle in a race. Well, anyway, I tell him about the bunny and he gives me his headband, asking me to give it to the bunny. So I return to the bunny, give her the headband, and she becomes very happy, giving a running shoes in return, allowing me to sprint using the golden feathers as stamina. While exploring, I gather enough money to buy more golden feathers from the goat, beat a loser in a race, and also finds a beaver that teaches me how to fish. On the way to the peak, a big climb is needed and a crow is right next to it. He offers me a feather for 100 coins. Well, I accept, but it still was not enough to climb the wall. So I keep exploring a little bit more to find more feathers, and when I was gliding around, I find this little tower and a chest with another feather is found. Nice. At some point, I also met these fellas on the beach playing what seems to be volleyball. When I asked them about it, they told me it was a new sport made by them called beach stickball. Yes, beach stickball. So they challenged me to play one match and had to score 20 points to win the prize. Since I'm not a coward, I accept the challenge. The sport is basically a volleyball, but with sticks. So I'll win the match and get one more feather. Now roaming around the island, I get to a dock and a fella, I'm gonna have to call other character fellas cause I really don't know what animals they are. Give me the permission to use a boat for 100 coins. I get the license and before sailing, I find an empty bucket and a little plant. So I fill the bucket, water the plant and a flower blooms. The flower can be used as a jump pad. Now going back to the boat, I start to go around the sea to see what I can actually find, but I find nothing useful, except that I gather the 50 shells that the little bird was asking me at the beginning. I go back to her, give the shells, and she ordered me to deliver a necklace to Auntie May, like it was my duty to do it. Anyway, by delivering the necklace, Auntie gave me a feather. It was worthy after all. After that, I decided to explore the sea a little bit more and find an island with a big mountain. So I tried to climb all the way to the top, but unfortunately, my feathers are not enough. I then go back to the Hawk Peak Trail and managed to climb that big wall which I was not able to climb before. Going up, I talk to a polar bear that tells me about the place. Apparently the feathers that I use get frozen and only recovers by getting a hot spring, so I'm gonna have to be smart on how I use the feathers right now. Since I'm basically near to the top, I decide to try to reach it, but I still got to get some more feathers.
Nope.
So I glide my way back to the bottom. On the way I get another feather, I find a binocular with a chest next to it, and inside the chest another feather. I also remember the suspicious fella selling feathers next to that wall, and then I think that maybe he could sell me another feather. So I talk to him, and like I thought, he sells me another feather, and since he sold me 2 feathers, maybe the goats at the visitor center have more feathers to sell to me. So I go all the way to the bottom again, talk to the goat, and he sells me another feather. But when I try to buy a third one, he tells me that someone bought most part of the stock, and guess who's the motherfucker? Well, with that amount of feathers, I could probably reach the Hawk Peak, but before doing it, I left a challenge behind and I'm not gonna run away from it. Yes, this little mountain. So I climb all the way to the top and I find a silver feather, which I don't really know what they're used for, but okay. Also, there's a binocular pointing at the lighthouse, and when I look through it, I can see a chest at the top of the lighthouse. And well, at least I completed this challenge. So it's finally time to climb the Hawk Peak. Before reaching the top, I go to the lighthouse, open the chest, and guess what? Another feather. Nice. So finally I climbed all the way to the Hawk Peak and there was a lake there. I thought it would have like a special fish or something, but it had just a trout. Also you could see the cliff and the vision of auroras, but the real reward was something else. Hello?
Hi, Claire.
Mom? I'm so glad to hear from you. I've been waiting all day to hear from you. I've been worried.
Oh, honey. I told you I'll be fine.
Yeah, but you always say that.
And I always am. Anyway, how have you been?
Well, I'm at the top of Hawk Peak right now.
Oh, wow. I love it up there. May and I used to go up every summer together. It's about time you made it up.
Yeah, I know.
You're so big now. My little girl's leaving the nest. You won't have any need for a little old man.
But I do need you. I'll never not need you. When I heard about the surgery, how come you never told me this was a thing?
I didn't want to worry you.
But
I know you can get worked up about things.
I could have been there for you. You're all I know there now.
Really, it was nothing. Everything was fine.
I'm just glad you're okay. I love you, Mom.
I love you too.
Wait, something's happening.
Was that the famous Hawk Peak updraft?
Huh? Looks like it.
You should catch a ride on it though. Before it fizzles out.
I wanna, but I'm kinda nervous.
Claire, You can do it. I'll come visit you soon, okay? Also, don't forget to say hi to Aunt May for me. She's probably waiting for you back at the cottage. Bye, love you.
Love you too, Mom. So yeah, at the end everything was worth. We want a recognition to be able to call our mother. Maybe that's a message that the creators want to give us, that no matter how hard it is to climb the mountain, we should always look for experiences and help the ones around us, so they may help us reach the top. Because despite all the challenges we're gonna face, the top will always be worth to us. Then finally, you go back to the bottom and tell Aunt May how was the adventure of this little short hike and how it was worth after all. Now you're tired and just head to your home to get some sleep. So that was a short hike, a very short game that took me less than 2 hours to finish, and it was very chill to play it. Also, I think that the ending was maybe an expression from the creators to their own mother, because it felt like a special moment for the creator itself. Well, thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment, and until someday.